This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1349. What Happened When I Traded My Career for Slow and Simple? By Emma Scheib of SimpleSlowLovely.com. And I'm Dan, I'm your host of the show, and I'm here with you every single day, including weekends and holidays, to read from great articles that touch on work, entrepreneurship, productivity, and a whole lot of other work-related topics as well. So let's get right to it now as we hear from Emma and optimize your life. What Happened When I Traded My Career for Slow and Simple? By Emma Scheib of SimpleSlowLovely.com. 2 years ago, I was a different woman than I am today. I was stressed, anxious, exhausted, and felt as though I was merely watching my life pass me by. I had only been in my dream career job for 18 months, but it felt like a lifetime had passed since I'd accepted the offer. But I thought this was what I was meant to do. I didn't know there were other options. I was juggling a full-time job that involved shift work and a commute. I had 2 young children, one only 2 years old, and a husband who also worked shift work in law enforcement. We used daycare, a nanny, a cleaner, and a meal service. Life was more than full. It was overflowing, and I was dropping balls left, center, and right, which might have been okay if they were all rubber. But I was doing what I was meant to do, right? As an educated woman wanting a family and a career, this was how it was done, wasn't it? Chasing all the dreams all at once so none of them got away. And then I had an epiphany. I realized that I didn't have to have it all. I didn't have to keep my dream job. I was fortunate enough that I could choose to let it go. This realization came at the exact time I realized I was on a fast road to a serious physical and emotional breakdown. So I quit. I quit my life as it was and began rebuilding from the ground up. It wasn't easy, and I had a lot of interesting feedback. But it's your dream job. You'll never find another job like this. How can you afford it? I didn't have all the answers, but I didn't need them. What I needed to do was connect with myself and my family again. What quitting your career really looks like. One of my values as a writer is honesty. I do my best to be honest with you. It's a value I admire in other writers and something that keeps me going back to their writing. When I quit, I knew I wouldn't find another job like that. But I had already decided that although it was my dream job, it didn't mean it was the right job or the right timing for me. And the truth, a little scary and icky, is that we couldn't really afford it. We couldn't afford the luxuries we used to have, the cleaner, the meal service, and the spontaneous coffee dates. But at the exact same time, we couldn't afford not to do it. We couldn't afford, for me, a wife, a mother, and a friend, to be broken any more than I already was. A career versus a cobbled path to freedom. In the last 16 months since quitting, I've slowed down, I've healed, I've rebuilt, and I've found myself again under the layers of anxiety and excess. And I've cobbled together an income that contributes to paying our mortgage and putting food on the table. In the interest of being transparent, here are the ways I've made money since I quit my full-time job. Worked in a kiwi fruit lab, testing kiwi fruit. Done some freelance creative editing. Written articles for other online publications. Helped my uncle with some cancer research, and earned some money being an affiliate for an online course. And most recently, I've taken on a part-time role in a local real estate office. And while it's nothing as glamorous sounding as my previous role, nothing will probably ever sound as glamorous as an intelligence analyst, it absolutely fits the season I'm currently in. I am loving my cobbled path. The stones are cracked and wildflowers are poking through, and I'm finding small moments of deep joy that I haven't experienced in a long time. Why am I telling you this? I want you to know that our paths as parents and traditionally as moms are not always easy. The expectancy to have families and careers can be very daunting, but the conventional wisdom of having it all in case something falls down the cracks doesn't always work. I want you to know that you don't have to have it all at once. You don't have to do it all at once. You can forge a new path, even if it's unconventional. One that is cobbled together by bits and pieces that give you both an income and joy. You can create your own life. You don't have to keep the status quo or compete with the Joneses. If you're juggling too many balls and maybe even dropping a few too many, perhaps it's time to take stock and decide what can stay and what can go. You just listened to the post titled, What Happened When I Traded My Career for Slow and Simple? By Emma Scheib of SimpleSlowLovely.com. We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, The best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search. Match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out those incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster, and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/startup. So just go to Indeed.com/startup right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And thank you so much to Emma for this post today. And let me tell you a little bit about her. Emma Scheib gained her master's in psychology back in 2013 and has since worked full-time in corporate research positions for government agencies. As she mentioned in this post, she recently gave up her dream job to pursue being a happier mom, living a slower pace of life. She's also dipping her toes back into her long-lost love of creative writing. And she writes regularly over at Simple Slow Lovely, and you can also connect with her on Facebook and Instagram. So that's going to do it for another installment of Optimal Work Daily. I, of course, appreciate you being here with me each and every day. That is how we keep the show going. It's listeners like you. And hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.